What's up, y'all? We are back.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
And as we said earlier, we're going to go ahead and get into the social statements put on the back of the jerseys of the NBA players. We know that the players wanted this to keep awareness going about the Black Lives Matter movement, even while they were playing in the NBA bubble. And I think some of the social statements on the back of the jerseys has been good, but I think we both had some things that we wanted to talk about. So go ahead and give me your take on the jerseys and the names and how you felt about them.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like when I first heard about the Black Lives Matter movement coming to the NBA, and we were gonna work with the jerseys on the sayings on the back of the jerseys, I was happy about it. I wasn't upset or anything like that. But like you said, I had a critique, and my main critique was the fact, like, I wish that they just allowed the players to be able to pick what they wanted to say, as opposed to having sayings picked for them for the players to pick. Not a bad idea, like I said, but I feel like if you wanted to do this thing, you should have allowed these players to come up with their own sayings, or to use their voice in the way that they wanted to, and not have to pick from a plethora of words already. And there were some good ones that I've seen. Like, I've seen education reform, I've seen Black Lives Matter, I've seen how many more, I've seen say her name in honor of Breonna Taylor. So,
group economics was a good one.
Right, group economics as well. So they have good sayings, but I do also wish that they allowed the players to use their voice completely and totally by giving them the chance to go and say what they wanted to say on those jerseys, as opposed to saying.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Just to quickly add on to that, I just felt like one of my critiques was that some of the players chose really simple things to put on the back of their jerseys, like peace, justice, freedom, equality, ally.
Right.
I wish that there were some more thought-provoking things that they could have added to the conversation that could have sparked conversation. Why did you put this on your jersey? Type thing. So that was just something that I felt some players missed the opportunity to add to this conversation. But while we're on the topic of talking about social justice and jerseys, we have a player that decided to stand and not wear Black Lives Matter during the national anthem.
Right.
And his jersey sales have risen to second, only behind LeBron James right now. And I'll let you introduce who that player is and tell me how you felt about that situation.
Okay, so the player we're talking about is Johnathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic. And the fact that I feel like I have to tell you that he's from the Orlando Magic sort of tells you how I feel about it, I guess, in a sense of, I feel like he's a very young player. So for his jersey to be right behind LeBron James in jersey sales is sort of crazy, and it's all starting after he decided that he wasn't going to, take a knee and wear the Black Lives Matter shirt during the national anthem. And let me get this straight before I, keep going. I don't disagree with him in what he did.
Yeah.
I feel like what he did and how he explained it was fine. I wish he would have given a little bit more of an explanation to the media, but he still is with the Black Lives Matter movement. He has stated that he feels like there are other ways, and he's going through those ways. I'm sure. I'm sure that his team, they all had conversations with each other before, the situation happened. So I'm not against Johnathan Isaac. I'm just against the fact that after he decided not to take a knee, his jersey sales went up due to the fact, I feel like that people were going to take it and use it as their, oh, look, this player didn't take a knee, so I'm going to support him because I don't necessarily agree with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing for me. When I saw that his jersey sales shot up, it just, the whole idea, and I had kind of felt like this might happen, so the whole idea of it made me uncomfortable, and that was the only problem. I wouldn't say that I had with his decision, but that I had with the situation.
Yeah.
I respect his decision. That's his preference. But the fact that, I felt like he was going to be used as something that he did not intend to be used as in this situation hurt me. And we're seeing it happen with the jersey sales. But aside from that, we know that he just got hurt in his most recent game. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So recover fast. Hope for that.
Yeah.
But, while we're on the topic of knee injuries,
oh man,
let's go ahead and transition to a guy who I think is going to have some knee problems in the future. And that guy is 310 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you heard me right. 310 pounds, not 285. Zion Williamson. We know that the Pelicans have had him on a minutes restriction recently because they're protecting those knees.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on it? How did you feel about watching him play with the minutes restriction?
I hated watching him with the minutes restriction. It was just that. It was very hard to watch, man, with him playing 14, 15 minutes a game, the entire game. Because I want to see Zion play. I've been hearing about this dude since he was in high school.
Exactly.
And now he's in the NBA and he's not really playing the way that I want him to. As a fan. Now I do understand why the Pelicans have decided to put the minutes restriction on him. Like I said, I've been watching him since high school, but he has not made a complete season in high school or in college, and now not in the NBA either. And so they're very particular over keeping those knees healthy because that's been the injury every time, a knee injury. So they're very cautious, and I understand that in the Pelicans front office, especially after dealing with Anthony Davis, your last number 1 overall pick. And you dealt with him for however many years, and he had a number of injuries continuously. So I do get the hesitation to put him out there, but I feel like you said, he's 310. I come back and I say he's 300. But I feel like if you want him to lose that weight, we all want to see him lose that weight. But I feel like the only way he's going to lose it is if he's playing basketball and if he's getting minutes around the clock. Because I feel like that's how he's gonna lose it.
Mm-hmm.
He's just one of those people that has to play basketball to get that fat off of.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I didn't like seeing him on the minutes restriction, and I feel like it's just they're playing that risk management very cautiously, and they're trying to protect that asset. But while we're talking about management, let's just really quickly hit on how well the NBA has managed this pandemic. I mean, we're seeing them. And I think especially compared to other leagues, they're showing up and showing out. They're through their 3rd round of testing now.
Right.
Still 0 positive results. Just what are your thoughts on how the NBA product has looked recently?
Man, I feel like when we first heard about the bubble thing and going to Disney and how that was going to work, we all sort of hoped that it would come and be something like how it is. This is the exact picture that everyone had in their mind.
Flawless.
With now 2 weeks of complete zeros of positive tests for COVID. The way that everything is handled in the bubble is very tip-top shape, very kept in. If you leave the bubble, you're allowed to leave, but if you come back, you got to take the test, you got to quarantine. I respect all of that. I feel like the NBA has done a great job taking care of the big issue at hand, and also taking care of the players as well. As we also have sort of heard, like when it first began, players were complaining about things like living arrangements, food was one of those things, and the NBA and Disney and all those guys have come together and have continually tried to work and make that more welcoming and more to the liking of the players. And I respect the NBA most definitely for everything that they've been doing in the bubble so far. And like you said, like they've been doing way better than some of the other leagues out here.
Yeah, as you just said, well, they're doing way better than some of the other leagues. And I think the league that most notably I think is mishandling this issue currently is the NFL. And guys, that's what we're going to get right back into after we come from this next break. But before we hit this break, we want to get into what we call our new segment, and that is Primetime Predictions. And that is pretty much where we're going to predict the games of this weekend and tell you who we think are favored. Mm-hmm. So first, I'm going to hit you with the Clippers versus the Trailblazers. I have the Clippers winning that game. What about you?
I have the Trailblazers winning, man. Like I said, this was my surprising team, the Trailblazers, coming into the bubble. They're hot. They got Dame. They got CJ McCollum. I feel like if Nurkic comes in and plays the way he's been playing, man, I feel like the Trailblazers will pull it out.
Yep. All right. After that, I had in the Jazz versus the Nuggets game, I have the Nuggets coming out on top. What about you, man?
I agree. I got Nuggets coming out on top. Michael Porter Jr. has to come out and have a pretty good game. But if he does, him and Joker together are great.
All right. Lakers versus the Pacers. I got the Pacers upsetting the Lakers. What you think?
Okay, now look, the Lakers have not been doing as hot as you would expect since entering the bubble, but I still put them over top of the Pacers. Now, hear me out. The Lakers have to come and they have to start shooting early and make their shots. Danny Green, especially, he's one of those people that if you're gonna have him on the team, you gotta make those shots, man. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if the Lakers aren't on tip top, around the fourth quarter, TJ Warren comes in, knocks him out.
Knock him out. All right. Then we have the Bucks and Giannis versus Luka and the Mavs. I got Giannis pulling this one out. What about you?
Now, both of these teams have struggled late in games, especially entering the bubble. But I do still give it to Luka and the Mavs.
Okay. All right. And lastly, we have the Spurs versus the Pelicans. I think the Spurs pull this one out over Zion. What you think?
I don't agree. I think the
Man.
310 dude is going to come through and he's going to play meaningful minutes, and he's going to beat the Spurs single-handedly. No, I'm joking. But I do still have the Pelicans winning.
All right. Well, there you have it. That was Primetime Predictions. As we said earlier, when we come back, we're going to talk about how the NFL has been handling this pandemic. See you guys in a second.
All right, see y'all.